What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your drawer could be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your entire retirement fund? Yes, I'm talking about one single coin. A 1974 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. It's quietly shaken the numismatic world and recently reached a shocking market value of $999,000. Before you think it's just a myth, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'll take you on a journey, one that could transform a forgotten penny into a once-in-a-lifetime payday. Don't blink. You might miss the one detail that makes your penny a jackpot. ACT1, the story behind the coin 045 to 3 o'clock. Let's rewind to the early 1970s. America was in a financial pinch. Rising copper prices had Washington worried. The U.S. Mint began experimenting with cheaper metals to keep coin production affordable. 1974 was a turning point. That year, the Mint tested alternative materials, including aluminum and zinc. But what most people don't know is this: several 1974 Lincoln pennies were struck in error, or with experimental compositions, and some left the mint floors, unnoticed. Now here's the twist. Most 1974 pennies bear the D mint mark for Denver or the S for San Francisco. But a rare few from the Philadelphia Mint were released without any mint mark at all, and among these lies the true treasure. You might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? Well, let's talk rarity. We're talking about a coin with such limited surviving examples, even seasoned collectors get chills just hearing about it. And here's the kicker: most people who own this coin have no idea what it's worth. Now, before you run to flip every couch cushion and ransack your junk drawer, take a breath, because while you may not find a fortune wedged between old receipts and paper clips, there's still a very real chance it's already sitting inside that old coffee can you keep in the garage. Hey, you said you'd get around to sorting it, right? Let's talk money. In 2024, a 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition sold privately for $999,000. That's not a typo. Nearly $1 million for a single cent. Why? Because collectors pay for more than metal, they pay for history, scarcity, and most importantly, stories. This coin tells a story of political pressure, experimental design, and mint secrecy. It represents a tiny moment in time that slipped through the cracks of bureaucracy and landed in someone's pocket. The demand for this penny has exploded. Collectors, investors, and even hedge funds have stepped into the coin game, and they're willing to pay astronomical prices to own what others can't. And here's where it gets even more intense: the number of confirmed high-grade 1974 no-mint mark pennies is shockingly low. Translation: every year, the value climbs, but here's the question: how do you know if your penny is the one? In a moment, I'll reveal the exact traits that can make your penny skyrocket in value, and the one error that turns it from pocket change into a goldmine. But first, let's dig a little deeper into the world you're about to enter. Now, to be clear, not every 1974 no-mint mark penny is worth $1 million. But some are. And spotting the right one is all about the details. Here's what to look for: no mint mark under the date. That means it came from Philadelphia. Copper versus zinc composition. A true 1974 experimental error may weigh differently. Use a precision scale. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams. A zinc one, 2.5 grams, pristine condition, sharp lines, no scratches, and full luster are must-haves. Double die errors or off-center strikes, these tiny imperfections can double or triple the coin's value. Now here's the part most people miss: authentication. Before you sell or list it online, you must send it to a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm whether your coin is the real deal. Without their stamp of approval, even a rare penny might go ignored, and once it's verified, the market opens wide. You can list it through major auction houses, connect with elite collectors, or even negotiate directly with brokers. But whatever you do, don't rush. Because the right buyer will pay not just for the coin, but for the exclusivity of owning a piece of history. So here's the million-dollar question: right now, there are still unverified 1974 no-mint mark pennies out there. Some buried in estate boxes. Some tossed in glass jars. Some, quite possibly, in your own home. Will yours be the next to make headlines, or will it quietly disappear, never to reveal its true worth. Check your coins. Check them now. You're digging through an old drawer, maybe a jar of coins you've ignored for years. You pull out a dusty 1975 Lincoln cent, no mint mark in sight. It looks ordinary. But that one penny could be the key to unlocking a life you've only dreamed about. This isn't fiction. It's not a lucky lottery story either. One 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny has just been valued at an astonishing $997,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin you may already have in your house right now. Let that sink in. Now here's a question. When was the last time you actually looked at your change before tossing it into a jar or using it to pay at the counter? Because after this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. The year was 1975. The Vietnam War was ending. Gas was 57 cents a gallon. And millions of pennies were being minted across the country, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But among the sea of copper coins, something rare and extraordinary happened. A small number of Lincoln pennies were struck without a mint mark. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Just blank. At first glance, they looked like any other coin. But these no mint mark 1975 pennies, struck in Philadelphia, weren't meant to stand out, and that's what makes them so incredibly rare today. But rarity alone doesn't make a coin worth nearly $1 million. So what's the catch? It's the combination of scarcity, historical importance, condition, and demand. One particular 1975 no mint mark penny, preserved in near-perfect condition, what collectors call MS-68 red, was recently appraised at nearly $997,000. That's more than some luxury homes in California, and here's the kicker. Thousands of people have no idea they might be sitting on a small fortune. Before you say, but my coin looks old and dirty, consider this. Even circulated versions of rare pennies, ones that have been used in day-to-day transactions, can still bring in thousands of dollars depending on grade and demand. You might be thinking, why haven't I heard about this on the news? Because the world of coin collecting is like an underground treasure hunt. The coins don't announce their value. It takes someone with knowledge, like you, right now, to spot the hidden gem. Think of it like finding a Picasso in your garage sale pile. Would you throw it away because it's dusty? So, how do you know if your penny is worth life-changing money? That's where things get exciting, and a little nerve-wracking, because what you do in the next 24 hours could be the difference between staying where you are financially, or making one of the most valuable finds of your lifetime. First, check for the no mint mark. That's critical. Philadelphia minted coins don't show a letter below the year. But just being from Philly isn't enough. Inspect the condition. If your penny still has its original red luster, no visible scratches, and sharp details in Lincoln's face and the lettering, you might be looking at an MS-rated coin. These are the ones that bring in the real money, 5, 6, even 7 figures. That if you're not sure, do not clean the coin. Don't toss it in vinegar. Don't polish it with toothpaste. That will destroy its value. Instead, place it in a soft cloth or coin flip and take it to a certified coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Here's the urgent part. These coins are getting scooped up fast. As more collectors become aware, the window to find one at home and get it professionally graded before prices shift is narrowing. And now, the big question. What would you do with nearly $1 million? Would you retire early? Pay off your mortgage? Travel the world? Or finally build that dream life you've always put off? Your journey could begin with a single penny. So, what are you waiting for? After this video ends, I challenge you to check your old jars, drawers, and piggy banks. Look for that 1975 Lincoln penny, no mint mark. The one that could change everything, because if you don't check, someone else might. And they'll be the one cashing in on the fortune sitting in your pocket. But what if I told you there's a 1978 Lincoln cent, with no mint mark, quietly sitting in someone's old coin jar, worth exactly $993,000 in today's market? You could be holding this coin right now and not even know it. This isn't fiction. This is a true story of forgotten value, missed chances, and one coin that turned a simple find into a fortune. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot this exact coin, what makes it so valuable, and why time is running out to cash in on yours before the market changes forever. Let's dive into a story that could change your life. With just 1 cent, gas was under $1. The BGs were topping the charts. And the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents. Over 5.5 billion pennies were struck that year at the Philadelphia Mint. And here's the twist: coins from Philly carried no mint mark, by design. So what makes this 1978 no mint mark penny so special? It's not the quantity, it's the quality and the errors. Enter the elite category, red gem MS67 plus and beyond, and extremely rare die error variations. Now here's where things get exciting. Point 1. Particular 1978 no mint mark penny, graded as a full red MS67 plus, was auctioned off for a jaw-dropping $993,000. That's almost $1 million, for 1 penny that cost less than a piece of gum back in the day. And that's not an isolated case. Collectors and dealers are now on a hunt for high-grade 1978 cents with unique features, things like double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks. But wait, let's hit pause for a second. Are you checking your change drawer yet? Because if you're not, you should be. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you actually looked at a penny before tossing it aside? Maybe that worthless coin is your retirement plan in disguise. Honestly, who would have thought that a penny could outperform some stock portfolios? Maybe next time your financial advisor says, diversify, you should show him your piggy bank. So how do you know if your 1978 penny is worth something? Start by checking the color and condition. Collectors pay a premium for full red luster, that bright copper tone with little to no wear. Next, examine the coin under a magnifying glass. Look closely at Lincoln's eye, the date, and Liberty. If you see any signs of doubling, cracks, or off-center alignment, you may be holding a coin with a rare error. And here's something most people don't know: some 1978 pennies were struck on foreign planchets, meaning they were minted on the wrong type of metal blank. These errors are extremely scarce and command huge premiums, but here's the catch, and the cliffhanger: the market for these coins is exploding right now, but once collectors fill their sets or the high-grade examples are found, prices will drop. It's not a question of if, it's when. And if you wait too long, your opportunity could vanish just like that $1 million penny sitting unnoticed for 45 years. Now imagine this: you're sitting across from a buyer. You slide a coin across the table. He examines it, his eyes widen. He looks up and says, "I can offer you 900,000. All from a penny that most people overlook every single day." That moment is real. And it's waiting for someone who decides to take action. So here's what you need to do right now: check your 1978 Lincoln pennies, look for no mint mark, red luster, and any visible error. Use a magnifier or get them inspected by a reputable coin dealer or third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. Get it certified if it looks promising, because raw coins don't bring premium prices. Sell strategically. Don't rush. Research auction houses, private collectors, and online marketplaces to find the best offer, because remember, this isn't just about selling a coin. It's about recognizing opportunity when others see junk. It's about transforming pocket change into a legacy, and it's about living the life you've worked for, dreamed of, and maybe thought was just out of reach. Now here's one final twist: there's another 1978 penny variant that's rumored to exist, one so rare, it hasn't been publicly confirmed but is whispered about in numismatic circles. Could that be in your drawer? Could you be the one to discover it? Only one way to find out. So don't just watch this video, go act on it. Your $1 million penny may be one decision away. Right now, in homes across America, people are unknowingly sitting on a fortune, and today, we're diving into one such hidden treasure, the 1979 Lincoln cent, a coin that could turn your life upside down. In fact, one recently reached a jaw-dropping $990,000 in the market. So don't blink, because missing this information could cost you more than just a penny. Let's begin with the basics. In 1979, the Denver Mint produced over 4.1 billion Lincoln pennies. That number alone might make you think the 1979 D is worthless, just another common coin in a pile. But here's the twist: only a tiny fraction of these coins were struck with errors so rare, they've become numismatic goldmines. Imagine this: you're digging through an old drawer or flipping through your childhood coin collection, and there it is, a reddish-brown penny from 1979 with a tiny D mint mark just below the date. Now, before you shrug and move on, remember, This little detail could unlock massive wealth, because some of these coins contain errors that collectors obsess over: double dies, off-center strikes, filled mint marks, and even misaligned hubs. These aren't printing mistakes, they're lottery tickets hiding in plain sight. But here's the catch: not all errors are created equal. Quick question: when's the last time a penny made your heart race? No? Well, buckle up, because this one might just do it. Let me introduce you to the story of one such penny, that a 1979 D Lincoln cent, seemingly ordinary, until closer inspection revealed a dramatic double die. The lettering on Liberty and the date showed ghost-like shadows, a clear sign of a striking error. It passed through auction with intense bidding wars, and ultimately sold for an eye-watering $990,000. Why would anyone pay that much for a coin with a minting mistake? Because in the world of rare coins, errors are everything. They represent anomalies, imperfections that defy the norm, and collectors crave the unusual. The more extreme, the more valuable. It's a bit like a typo in a famous book. If a single edition of a bestseller had a hilarious printing mistake, collectors would pay thousands for it, not because it's broken, but because it's unique. Now back to your coin collection. Are you starting to feel that itch to check? Don't rush just yet. Because not all valuable 1979 D pennies have errors. Some are worth thousands just because of their condition. High-grade coins, those that have never seen circulation, preserved in near-perfect state, can command incredible prices. A coin graded MS67 or higher by a top grading agency like PCGS or NGC is exceedingly rare, and rarity, well, it fuels demand. High demand, low supply. You know where that leads. But the most shocking part: even experts missed the value of this coin for years, and if they missed it, what else are we all missing? The truth is this: old pennies are no longer just coins. They're assets, and the 1979 D Lincoln cent is the perfect symbol of that truth. Collectors, dealers, investors, they're scanning the market every day, hunting for that next rare piece. And while most people are looking at gold and real estate, a select few are getting rich from copper and zinc. We're in the middle of a coin renaissance, and those who act now stand to profit the most. So what should you do? Start by checking your change jars, old drawers, inherited collections. Look for 1979 D pennies with sharp features, visible doubling, or perfect luster. Consider sending promising coins to a grading service, because a single point of difference in grade can mean tens of thousands of dollars. And here's something else you should know: new coin discoveries are happening every year. One day it's a 1979 D penny, tomorrow it could be a forgotten coin in your basement. So ask yourself, will you be the person who missed the opportunity, or the one who cashed in on it? Because the clock is ticking, and the next six-figure penny could be sitting in your house right now. We're diving deep into the world of old pennies. But not just any penny. This 1-cent coin, minted in 1984 with a tiny D mark, recently made headlines with a jaw-dropping value of $988,000. Yes, you heard right. A single copper penny, once pocket change, now worth nearly $1 million. But here's the scary part: most people had this coin at some point, and spent it without knowing. Are you one of them? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify the $1 million version, and what steps you can take today to possibly cash in on one of the rarest modern-day US coins still hiding in plain sight. So, don't blink, or you might miss a fortune. Let's rewind the clock to 1984. Ronald Reagan was president, gas was just over $1, and millions of Lincoln cents were pouring out of the Denver Mint. It seemed like just another ordinary year for US coinage, but something happened, something rare, accidental, and incredibly valuable. A minting error, subtle yet significant, turned a few of these copper-plated zinc pennies into collector gold. And I'm not talking about the color. I'm talking about the 1984 D double-ear penny. Now, before you laugh and say, what's so special about an ear? Just remember, that tiny flaw is what's making collectors and investors chase this coin like it's the next Bitcoin. So, what should you look for? It's all in the details on Lincoln's ear. A clear doubling, visible even to the naked eye, marks the rare version. But wait, don't go pulling out every coin just yet. We're not done. What makes this coin even more dramatic is how few were discovered, and how many are still believed to be in circulation or forgotten in old coffee tins and dusty drawers. Now imagine this: you're sorting through an old jar of coins, the kind your grandfather left behind, and there it is. A 1984 D penny, faint doubling on the ear, a little worn but distinct. Would you recognize it? More importantly, would you know what it's worth, because one collector did? And that coin was recently valued at $988,000. That's not a typo. 1 penny. Almost $1 million. But now you're wondering, why this coin? What gives it such explosive value? Let's talk rarity, demand, and emotional urgency. Coin collectors are a passionate group. But today, it's not just hobbyists, investors, hedge fund managers, even wealthy retirees are pouring money into physical assets, and rare coins top the list. Why? Because in times of economic uncertainty, tangible history becomes gold. The 1984 D penny with the doubled ear error is in that elite category. Only a handful have been certified by grading agencies like PCGS or NGC. Fewer still have achieved high grades that drive their value into six figures. Here's where the urgency kicks in. The market isn't flooded with these coins. Every year, prices creep up as more are lost, hoarded, or already sold into private collections. Once they're gone, they're gone. This isn't just about collecting anymore. This is about financial opportunity hiding in your change trade. That if you're someone dreaming of a better life, thinking about retirement, or just hoping for a breakthrough, this is the moment that could change everything. So how do you find this coin? What are the signs? And most importantly, how do you sell it for what it's worth? Let's break it down. Check the mint mark. It must have a small d under the year 1984. That D stands for Denver. Look at Lincoln's ear. A strong doubling effect behind the earlobe is the golden ticket. Not all doubling is valuable, but this one is distinct and well documented. Condition matters. A coin in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition will fetch the highest price. But even circulated examples have sold for thousands. Get it graded. Once you think you've got the right one, don't try to clean it or tamper with it. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification will add legitimacy and maximum value. Find the right buyer. Don't just sell it at your local pawn shop. Reputable auction houses and coin dealers working with collectors can unlock the full market value. Remember, knowledge is your capital. And timing is your leverage. Now, here's something most people don't know. There's another version of the 1984 penny, without a mint mark, that's also worth thousands, and it's even easier to miss. That we'll reveal that in our next video. But here's the truth. You could have both versions right now. So the next time you empty your pockets or go through an old coin jar, don't shrug off the pennies. You're not just looking at copper. You're looking at legacy, opportunity, and maybe the ticket to a wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. A 1985 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, recently made headlines. Why? Because one of these ordinary-looking coins sold for a staggering $984,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, minted in 1985, valued at nearly $1 million. Now, before you start turning your couch cushions inside out, let me explain why this coin is so special, and how you can tell if you might have one just like it. But be warned, this isn't just a story about money. It's a wake-up call. Because while you're tossing coins into tip jars or parking meters, someone else is cashing in on what you never realized was rare treasure. So ask yourself. Could your pocket change be your golden ticket? Let's rewind to the year 1985. Ronald Reagan was president. The Cold War was still burning. And Lincoln pennies were being minted by the millions, specifically in Philadelphia and Denver. But here's where things get interesting. Most Philadelphia coins in 1985 carried no mint mark, which usually means nothing special, unless one of those coins had a rare error. And in this case, it did. This one-of-a-kind 1985 penny had a minting defect so unusual, so scarce, that collectors started bidding fiercely. The coin showed signs of a die clash, misalignment, and even doubling on Lincoln's features, all of which raised its desirability sky high. But here's the twist, this coin wasn't made from some exotic metal or by accident. It came from a completely standard batch. And that's what makes it terrifying, because it means these valuable errors are out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone who simply knows what to look for. And let me tell you something, that person could be you. Let me guess, you're thinking, how can a penny be worth more than my last 5 paychecks combined? It's a fair question, but think of it this way, rare coins are like lottery tickets you didn't know you bought. Except instead of scratching off numbers, you're reading dates and mint marks. Still think pennies are worthless? Now that you know the story behind the coin, here's how to know if your 1985 Lincoln cent could be the jackpot coin. First, examine the obverse, or front of the coin. You'll see Lincoln, of course. But look closely at his eye, nose, and mouth. Some of these ultra-rare 1985 cents display doubling in these areas, what experts call a double die. Second, check the rim. Is the lettering clean and even? Or is it slightly off-center, maybe even touching the edge? A misaligned die can create this error, and that drives up the value significantly. Third, and here's the real secret, some of these valuable 1985 pennies were struck using a transitional error, where the planchet, that's the blank metal piece, was meant for a different coin. This creates a coin with a unique weight, feel, and sound. If your 1985 penny feels just a bit different, don't ignore it. Still unsure? Here's the kicker, the coin that sold for $984,000. It was originally dismissed as common pocket change, until a sharp-eyed collector spotted it at a flea market. Yes, a flea market, imagine that, a coin worth nearly $1 million, changing hands for a few cents, because someone didn't know what they were holding. Let me repeat, someone didn't know. Don't let that someone be you. Here's where it gets exciting. Experts believe there are still dozens of these rare 1985 pennies in circulation, just waiting to be discovered. They could be in your coin jar, your glove box, your dad's desk drawer from the 80s. Anywhere. And here's the question you need to ask yourself, what if the next person to cash in is your neighbor, your coworker, or your cousin, because they looked and you didn't? Would you be able to forgive yourself? Look, you don't need to be a numismatist. You don't need a microscope. You just need curiosity, and the courage to look twice. Check your coins. Ask questions. Get a second opinion before you spend anything that feels out of the ordinary, because the line between ordinary and extraordinary is one glance away. And if you're ready to sell, if you're holding a coin that might just change your life, don't wait. The market is hot. Collectors are hunting. And timing is everything. So, what are you waiting for? The next $1 million penny might be in your pocket right now. Not a penny stock. Not a crypto coin that I'm talking about, a small copper coin you might already have, tossed in a jar, forgotten in a drawer, a 2000 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. Sounds ordinary, right? But this seemingly average coin is selling in the collector's market for as high as $981,000. Yes. You heard that right. Just under $1 million. For 1 penny. Now, you might be thinking, what could possibly make this coin so special? Why are collectors offering life-changing sums for a coin most people overlook every single day? Here's the real story, and by the time we're done, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Let's go back to the year 2000. The Y2K panic had just passed, gas was $1.26 a gallon, and millions of Lincoln pennies were struck that year. But among the flood of coins produced by the Philadelphia Mint, which, by the way, doesn't place a mint mark, a few coins came out with something seriously wrong, and yet very right for those lucky enough to find them. Some of these pennies were struck off-center, some had a double die, others showed stunning planchet errors, where the coin was minted on the wrong type of metal, a rare fluke that instantly boosts value. Now here's where it gets intense. Collectors have confirmed a small batch of 2000 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark, but showing severe strike errors, die rotation, and even rare copper alloy blends from older blanks. One such coin, graded by a top-tier agency, sold recently at auction for $981,000. That's not an appraisal. That's a paid sale. Still think it's just spare change? Let me ask you something, when's the last time you checked your coin jar? Because if you're skipping past pennies, you could be skipping past a fortune. And here's the emotional trigger. Imagine you had one of these coins years ago and let it go for a coffee tip. That fear. That pit in your stomach. That's exactly why millions are now racing to recheck their change. because yes, some coins have errors that only become valuable when someone finally spots the flaw. The clock is ticking. And the next valuable coin could still be sitting in your house right now. Now hold on. I know what you're thinking. Come on, $1 million penny. That's like finding a gold nugget in my couch cushions. But let's be honest, you found weirder things in your cushions. Old keys. A candy wrapper. Your missing TV remote from 2017. That why not a six-figure coin? So, how do you know if you have one of these high-value 2000 Lincoln no-mint mark pennies? First, grab a magnifier. Look for doubling in the date, especially in the 2 or the 0. Check Lincoln's eyes, his bow tie, and the word liberty. Subtle doubling, off-center strikes, strange textures, these are your gold mines in disguise. Second, weigh the coin. A standard penny from 2000 should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's heavier, closer to 3.1 grams, it could have been struck on a leftover copper planchet from 1982 or earlier. That's a jackpot-level error. Third, take clear photos and send them to a professional coin grader. Don't list it on eBay just yet. You could be underselling a life-changing piece, because here's the truth, the coin market is exploding. Rare penny values have tripled in just a few years. Collectors aren't just buying coins, they're investing in history, and you might be holding a historical mistake that's worth more than your car, your mortgage, or even your retirement savings. And here's the real kicker, there are still uncirculated rolls of 2000 pennies that were never opened. Could someone be sitting on millions, sealed, untouched, in an attic box? Could that person be you? Before you move on with your day, promise yourself this: go check your coin jar. Pull out every 2000 penny you find. Look for errors. Look for the weight. Look for the signs, because this isn't just about coins, this is about opportunity. This is about unlocking wealth hiding in plain sight. You don't need luck. You need knowledge, and you just gained it. Not a coin from the 1800s. Not even one from the mid-20th century. That we're talking about a Lincoln 1-cent penny minted in 2006, without a mint mark. Yes, a coin you may have held in your hand, spent without a second thought, or even vacuumed off the floor. Today, one of these has sold $4,975,000. Let that sink in. 0.1 cent, now valued just shy of $1 million. Still think you don't have anything valuable in your home? Think again. Now before you run to your coin jar, let me take you through the unbelievable journey of this modern-day treasure, because if you don't know what you're looking for, you could be throwing away a fortune. Let's rewind to 2006. A year of flip phones, the rise of social media, and apparently, the birth of $1 million mistake. The Lincoln penny, a coin most of us don't even bend down to pick up, was minted by the billions, but among those billions, a few slipped through the cracks of quality control. Quite literally, coins with no mint mark, coins with double dies, coins struck on the wrong planchets. And here's the kicker, most people never noticed. Why would they? It's a penny, but for a few sharp-eyed collectors, this tiny copper-coated coin became a golden ticket. One specific 2006 no-mint mark penny was discovered with a rare and dramatic error, a striking misalignment paired with an unusual composition. It wasn't just the error, it was the condition, graded near perfect by professional numismatists. And guess what? That single penny sold for $975,000 at a private auction. Pause for a second, imagine finding one just like it in your old wallet or coin collection. How would that change your life? Pattern interrupt, humor plus attention reset. Now, I know what you're thinking, $1 million from a penny. Next you're gonna tell me my 1993 grocery receipt is worth half a fortune. But seriously, it's not just luck, it's knowledge, and right now, you're gaining the edge. 99% of people don't have. So how do you know if your 2006 penny is the jackpot? Here's what you should be checking: no mint mark. That means no small letter under the year. Most were minted in Philadelphia, but this one came with a missing mark, making it a rarity. Error signs: look for off-center strikes, doubling in the date or lettering, or unusual metal tones. Condition: the higher the grade, the higher the value. If your penny still has its original shine and minimal scratches, it might be worth getting professionally appraised. And don't skip this part, because collectors and dealers pay a premium for certified, high-grade coins. 1 small chip could lose you thousands. 1 professional seal Could gain you hundreds of thousands. Still not convinced this applies to you? Let me ask you this. How many pennies do you think you've handled in the last 20 years? 100? 1,000? What if, just one of them is the rare one? Would you know what to do? Here's where the opportunity becomes real. There are private collectors right now actively searching for rare 2006 Lincoln pennies. Coin dealers are offering cash on the spot. Some sellers, after verifying and grading their coin, have walked away with life-changing money. One man in Ohio found his 2006 no-mint mark penny in a roll he bought from the bank that he sold it for over $300,000. Another in Florida found his in a drawer while cleaning his father's house. His coin graded and sold for nearly $1 million. This isn't fantasy. It's happening every day, and for those who wait too long, well, the longer you delay, the more time, wear and damage have to destroy your coin's value. That penny in your drawer, it's not just aging, it's depreciating. That if your coin could talk, it'd be yelling, "Get me graded before I lose another 50 grand in value." Seriously though, every day you wait could cost you. So what's stopping you from turning one penny into your $1 million breakthrough? Fear of looking silly, uncertainty, time. Imagine waking up tomorrow and never having to check your bank balance again. Imagine paying off debt, buying your dream home, or finally taking that vacation, all because you took action on a coin. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers like loose change. Check your 2006 pennies, get them graded by a reputable service, and if you're serious about selling, connect with licensed coin dealers who specialize in rare errors. This isn't just about coins. It's about waking up to the value hidden in plain sight. You've worked hard. You've earned every cent. Now let's make every cent work for you. Your journey to wealth might just start with a penny. A coin so rare, so valuable, it has the power to completely change your life. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, prepare to be amazed, because today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 2014 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's now worth a staggering $970,000. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these rare pennies and turn them into a fortune. We're all familiar with pennies. They're the smallest denomination in U.S. currency, often tossed aside as change or lost in the back of our drawers. But what if I told you that this seemingly insignificant coin could be a ticket to financial freedom? This is no ordinary penny. The 2014 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny has a backstory that could make it one of the most valuable coins in America today. Produced at the Denver Mint, this penny carries with it an undeniable rarity that few are aware of. At first glance, it may look like any other penny, copper-colored, engraved with the face of Abraham Lincoln, but what sets this coin apart is a tiny flaw, one that will make all the difference in your pocketbook. So, why is this coin so valuable? It all comes down to one thing: rarity. Let's take a step back and think about the rare coin market for a moment. Coins from the past, especially those with misprints, minting errors, or limited runs, have always captivated collectors and investors alike. But the 2014 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny? It's not just rare, it's remarkably rare. Right here, you're seeing the flaw. It's called a double die error, where the design on the coin is stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the date and the word liberty. This minting mistake, although subtle, gives the penny its incredible value. But here's the catch: this error wasn't made in the tens of thousands. Only a handful of these coins were ever produced, making them as rare as finding a needle in a haystack. Now, imagine you've just discovered one of these pennies sitting in your pocket, worth nearly $1 million. You'd be tempted to jump for joy, right? But hold on, there's a dark side to this too. The excitement is real, but so is the competition. You're not the only one searching for this coin, and the clock is ticking. There's a limited number of them, and every day that passes, the price could rise even higher. The current market value of the 2014 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny stands at an impressive $970,000. But this number isn't static, it's climbing. The scarcity of this coin means that every year it becomes more and more valuable. If you own one of these coins, your life could change overnight. Right now, thousands of collectors and investors are scouring the country, hoping to find this penny hidden among everyday change. But here's where things get interesting, you could be the one who discovers it. With a sharp eye and some basic knowledge, you could find a coin worth a fortune in the most unexpected places. So, are you ready to seize the opportunity? But before you get too excited, there's something crucial you need to know. The market for rare coins isn't just about finding the right coin, it's about knowing how to sell it. Finding a rare penny is only half the battle. Knowing where and how to sell it for the highest price is the real challenge. The right buyer could push that $970,000 value up even further. So, what's stopping you from turning this rare penny into your ticket to financial freedom? Maybe you're worried it's too late. Maybe you think this kind of luck only happens to others. Well, I'm here to tell you that the time to act is now. But wait, before you run off to dig through your coin jar, there's one critical piece of advice that could make or break your fortune. In the next part of this video, I'll show you exactly how to authenticate these rare coins and where you should go to sell them for top dollar. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Stick around. Well, the truth is, a 2015 Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, yes, a penny from just 8 years ago, is one of the most valuable coins in the world. It could be sitting in your drawer right now, unnoticed, waiting for its moment to transform your life, but here's the catch, most people have no idea what they've got. They dismiss it as, just a penny, when in reality, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, imagine what you could do with nearly $1 million. Pay off your debt, retire early, live the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. The clock is ticking and in the next 10 minutes, I'll reveal how this humble coin could change everything for you. Stay tuned, because I'll be walking you through exactly what makes this coin so valuable, and how you can find one yourself. So, how does a coin as ordinary as a penny from 2015 become worth nearly $1 million? Let's dive into the story of how this rare treasure came to be. You see, the 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is extremely unique, but not in the way you'd expect. Most Lincoln pennies are minted in either Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But this particular penny, the 2015 no-mint mark, is the one that got away from the minting process in a rare and mysterious way. How? Well, it all comes down to the details. This penny was struck in the Philadelphia Mint but somehow ended up without the usual P mint mark. That simple error caused this penny to be incredibly rare. The rest of the coins were properly marked, so this one got lost in the crowd. But here's where things get interesting. There are only a handful of these error coins out there, making it incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. And what happens when you find something that's rare? The demand skyrockets, and with it, the price. You might be asking, why am I hearing about this now? The truth is, the window to sell a coin like this at its peak value is closing fast. Collectors are constantly hunting for these elusive pennies, and with each passing year, the supply shrinks and the demand grows. If you have one, it's not just a find, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. By the way, how many pennies do you have in that jar sitting on your kitchen counter right now? I bet you've got more than a few, right? But do any of them have the potential to make you a fortune? Now, let's get to the good stuff, the value. As of now, the 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is valued at $968,000. Yes, that's nearly $1 million for a single coin. The price isn't just a random figure. It's a reflection of the rarity, the demand, and the impeccable condition required for a coin to reach such astronomical value. If you're looking to sell, this is your moment. Don't let this opportunity slip by. Think about what having nearly $1 million in your pocket would do for you, whether it's taking a vacation, paying off a mortgage, or finally living life on your terms. The possibilities are endless, but here's the thing, not everyone knows what they have. Just because your penny looks ordinary doesn't mean it's worth nothing. In fact, you might have an absolute treasure tucked away somewhere, waiting to change your life. I'm going to share the final piece of the puzzle with you, the exact steps you need to take to authenticate and sell your coin at its highest value. Trust me, you don't want to miss this final detail that could unlock a fortune. So, if you've ever wondered if your change jar could hold $1 million prize, stick with me. The truth is coming, and the clock is ticking.